Utah Senator Orrin Hatch is the longest-serving Republican senator in American history, first elected into office in 1977.
He's seen a lot over the years, and we're happy to have him back in studio with us tonight. Thank you for being here.
Well, it's nice to be with you again.
This current political climate, have you seen anything like it 4 years after a new president?
I've never seen anything like it. You know, the Democrats stopped the Senate from being organized. And they knew we were going to win on every one of those nominations, but they just played this game. I think they were trying to make sure that President Trump's first 100 days were not successful. But he's moved ahead like you can't believe. I mean, this guy is a doer, and he's indefatigable. I've been around him a lot, and he is just really indefatigable. He's a hard worker.
Is this the new normal, though? Is it just going to be a daily fight?
Well, it should not be the new normal. We should get along better, and the new president ought to be given some deference, but they haven't done it so far. It was disgusting. My committee refused to, well, Democrats refused to go to any committee for the work. And they didn't come one day, but the second day they didn't come. I just used the rules to move ahead without them, and they learned a lesson there. And none of them really complained to me, but deep down they were pretty upset.
And we're a month into the Trump administration. If you could give him a grade, what would it be and why?
Well, I think it's too early to give a grade. He's only been there a month or so, and frankly, he is a whirlwind. He's a hard worker. And he's very, very deliberate in what he does. He's intelligent. He's brought some of the best cabinet people in I've ever seen. They're really outstanding. I was just talking to Wilbur Ross, who's going to head Commerce this morning. He's a billionaire, a very successful businessman, now heading Commerce. I said, "Why are you doing this?" And I said to Mnuchin, who is also a very wealthy financial man, who is now the treasurer after a big long filibuster against him. I said, "Why are you doing this?" I said, "You're going to lose a lot of money." And he said, "Yeah, I know." He said, "But I want to serve my country." And he said, "I don't care." He said, "I don't care." Yeah, about how much money he loses. These are really, really good people that Trump is bringing in.
Let me ask you about these town hall meetings around the country, which have been volatile experiences. Are you going to have any, and why do you think they are as nasty as they are?
Well, we have all kinds of town hall meetings. We have meetings in businesses with 300, 400, 500 people. We have meetings in various counties. I mean, you know, we meet the people as much as we can. But
what did you think when you saw this from Representative Chaffetz's town?
I was disgusted. I felt that was orchestrated, and I think you're finding that some of these people on the far left just can't stand the fact that their hero, Barack Obama, is no longer there, and Donald Trump is the leader. And frankly, they just can't take it. And why they can't, I'll never understand, because Trump is a very, very solid, hardworking, intelligent man.
An issue right here in Utah, Bears Ears has cost Utah the Outdoor Retailers Convention after next year. Now, is the fight getting its national recognition that it is? Do you think that it's worth it for the time, the energy, and the cost to continue this fight?
Well, if we let the federal government walk all over Utah and ignore the people of Utah and ignore the very small population of that particular county that needs to be able to find ways of making a living, you know, we'd be nuts to do that. That Bears Ears thing is not finished yet, and President Trump is looking into it at my request, and frankly, we want to get that resolved. I think most of us agree. We'll be happy to have a monument there, but it's going to have to be designed and done by the people in Utah, not the people back there in Washington who are just trying to stick it to Utah.
Forecast ahead for us. When the immigration policy is done, what is it going to look like?
Well, Trump is open to immigration, but he's not very open to immigration from the 7 nations that really are known for terrorism without proper vetting, where we were just letting people in at will. And that's the way to undermine the country. We have immigration laws that ought to be followed. I think he's going to make sure that they are followed and that they're fair. We're a nation of immigrants, and he understands that, but he also understands that we've allowed some people in who are very dangerous to us.
All right, and that's Supreme Court, Neil Gorsuch. Is he going to get in?
You bet he is. He's one of the best nominees that I've seen in all my 40 years in the United States Senate. He's outstanding. He's from our own 10th Circuit Court of Appeals, so he's a Westerner. He's brilliant. He's straightforward. He interprets the laws the way the laws were meant to be, not the way he thinks they should be, which is what the Democrats were looking for. And I think you're going to find that Neil Gorsuch will be one of the great justices on the Supreme Court. We'll get it through. It'll be a lot of wrangling, a lot of screaming and shouting. And you know, they know they lost the election. They expected Hillary to win. They expected they would be able to appoint to the Supreme Court. So there's a lot of bitterness about it. But I think Trump, if he stays there for 8 years, may very well have 2, 3, or 4 justices on the Supreme Court. And I'll tell you this, I had a lot to do with the 21-person list. And he's looking at only the most outstanding judges and lawyers that exist in this country. And he's done it the right way. And Gorsuch is a perfect illustration. He's just excellent.
Very interesting confirmation meetings to come for sure.
You got that right?
Senator, good luck. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you so much. It's always great to be home.
Appreciate it.
Coming up next, the panic